Hello. Hello. Good morning. I'm playing Football Manager because it's all I can be asked to play. I just don't want to do anything else. I got a hot coffee flavored beverage. And so it's my team, Black Hill FC. Black Hill's a neighborhood or something like that in Glasgow. Some sort of community area because it shows up on Google Maps. We play at Smithycroft Field, which is an elementary school that I spotted on the Google Map. We won last season in Ladbrokes League 2. We're going up to Ladbrokes League 1 this summer. It's June 1st. We just dumped a few players. You can see here's my famous football alter ego, Tom Soccer. Our captain, David Banjo, he's out. We're selling him. Craig McDowell is our goalkeeper as of now. You got to make a lot of changeovers when you go up leagues. So this was a creative club, so nobody was here when I started. Which way are we playing is probably the next question you might have. And we're playing like this, which the AI has decided is 4-1-4-1. But I think of as a 4-3-3 wide. I mean, just having a defensive midfielder sit a little bit further back doesn't change the fact that there's 3 midfielders. And having your players out wide doesn't change the fact that there's 3 attacking players, especially when you consider that in this is 7. Skulls can't tackle from the Reckonist. Props to the Reckonist, who's like the god of all Football Manager tactics. Right, so when you have a striker who comes back like this as a DLF, there might as well be in line anyways. Alright, so there isn't much going on right now because it's June. But in a few days here, all of our old players are leaving. And 1 or 2 players are coming in. Let's see. We don't have enough players coming in, I know that. So, yeah. This guy I'm actually going to play here as the a central defender because his passing's alright. His vision's shite, but he should be able to get the ball too there, and he's a good defender. It's quite difficult to find players when your club has no reputation and you are nobody. Now that said, my player I actually started with the manager with all the badges and stuff. Because after aborting that Italy save, I've done it before. I'm just not up to the challenge right now. I'm starting with a nobody. You just can't get players that are worth a shit. I mean, look at this sponsorship contract, 8.25K. I mean, money's not particularly thick in Scotland as is. Why Scotland? I can pronounce most of the names. I can read most of the names. That's why. Italy and France and Germany are much more complicated because of that. Though I can obviously read some of those names. Some of those names. Oh, great. So we got an extended contract for one of our attackers. These 2 right here are the most important players in this tactic. They score the most goals. They do the most work. So you can see that the instruction is actually run a defense in the final third, aiming to cause panic and indecision prior to shooting or attempting to make the ball. So they score more than the primary striker scores, because the primary striker comes back and plays in the playmakers in the midfield. So, I mean, this is one of those tactics that I don't think are actually particularly real-life oriented. However, that's irrelevant. It works in the game. And the reason it works in the game is because the AI has always had trouble with too many attackers in the box. In this case, there's 5, even though this guy tends to move out of the box. It's not as exploitative as like the flat 4-3-3s used to be, but it is pretty exploitative. But I don't. I mean, it's weird to draw the line. There's a line somewhere that says you can't cheat in Football Manager this way, but I don't. What's the way? I mean, I'm not using the editor or anything like this. I didn't develop the tactic for what it's worth. That's the Reckonist. Check him out on Twitch. He streams some Football Manager. I don't know what else he does. His tactics are brilliant. I've watched some of his streams and stuff. I don't know why anybody would ever watch a Football Manager stream, but I can't be asked to play anything else right now. So I wanted to do this since I had to quit last night. I had to quit last night to go to bed. Woke up today and was like, oh, I gotta do this. Oh, hey, His Majesty King Horse. What's up? And there was nothing else I wanted to do except play Football Manager. Because, fuck it. That's why. It's the Europa quarterfinal round today. Fun and excitement. Everybody loves fucking Europa, right? Let's see. It's United Copenhagen. I could not tell you who else. Inter Milan Leverkusen. United Copenhagen. And tomorrow is Shakhtar Donetsk versus Basel. And Wolves versus Sevilla. 3 or 4 strong teams in that, and then some notably weaker teams. But Sevilla tend to get pretty far in Europa. They've got quite the history. Copenhagen have made it into the challenging rounds for a while. Why would I watch a Football Manager stream? Why do I do anything? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I don't know. I mean, why do you watch streams at all? I mean, you watch streams, I guess, to just hear people babble and talk to people and stuff. That's my experience. Sam Dryden is very unhappy. Oh no, the fans are very unhappy that I'm selling Sam Dryden. But, he wasn't good enough for me. He was a space filler. And now he's a empty space. Blank space. He's a Taylor Swift song is what he is. Taylor Swift writes all her songs about Football Manager. A lot of people don't know that. But take a Taylor Swift song. It's about Football Manager. Look what you made me do. It's like, look, the player pissed me off by asking for money. So I put him in the reserves and made sure he played without any rest until he broke his leg. Look what you made me do. Everybody's like, everybody was a regular starter because I had 16 people last time, and I'll probably have a similar small ass cocks to Wappa Miller, if you know what I'm saying. So I got 2 players coming in. This guy will not be playing as a fullback. He thinks he will be, but he's going to be playing as a central defender. When you're way down here, the players are all shite. But this guy's not bad though. I say that. He's probably better than both of my central defenders, who's Ewan Smith here, which has some unique attacking characteristics for a central defender. But that's what you want from a ball-playing defender anyways. Somebody who can go forward. Pass the ball, dribble a bit. This guy's not bad, though. I should definitely look closer at him. I put the scout on him. Let's see about him. His agent's Poppy Watson. He's Scottish. He's flattered by the interest. He would prefer not to play for Rangers. Alright, yeah. Sure. I understand that. I mean, fuck Rangers, am I right? He already played for Rangers, though. That's what it is. He got released on a free from Rangers after 0 appearances in 1920. That's interesting. They loaned him down to Edinburgh City. And the year before that, he was loaned down to Forfar. But, that's interesting. He hates Rangers having been part of the organization since he was, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Since he was 14 years old when he joined Rangers, and he hates them now. Alright, fuck Rangers, you know what I'm saying. I don't like making promises to players, because I never keep them, unless it's by accident. Sometimes by accident I keep them. You can see this guy's good enough to start immediately for my senior team. This is a relatively high wage for a club this small. I made it to the Scottish Cup semis this season and lost to Celtic. But that made the club about $300,000, which is like double what the original starting balance of the club was. So like more than a year's worth of salary, basically. That's the best part about playing at the low levels. You do a friendly for 20K, and it's like, yeah, that just paid for a player for the entire season. It's good stuff. Okay, so his decision making, but he's 21 years old, so what do you do? He's a Scot, so he'll fit in. Because the team is largely Scottish. Just a couple French dudes. Alright, I'll promise you nothing. See, he wants 31K, that's pretty much the max salary I'm paying right now. So I don't do appearances, but I'll do clean sheets for people. So this guy, you know, because we're going to keep a dozen and a half clean sheets the entire season, tops, right? Because if you look at that formation, it's very attacking. So if you're only promising, you know, 18 times, you know, I don't know, 200 or so, that's only $3,000. But they like it. He can have a release clause, but I want it to be bigger. I want it to be about 100K. And the rest of this is fine. He's gonna want more money. So that release clause is too low. How about 80K? And that's really weird. 32.5. That's a lot of money, but he does not want to raise that release clause. 40? Yeah, okay. I doubled his release clause from original request, or about 1.5. So this guy will slot right into the team. He'll start over every other central defender I have, which is only 2 anyways. And one of them's a converted fullback. Anybody else in the scouting list here? I like the free ones, if you know what I'm saying. I like them free and I like them young. This guy's interesting. You look at his stats, they don't jump out at you, but if you want a deep lying forward, if you want a player that comes back from the top line, right? His wingers are out here, your central defender is here. Your wingers are out here, your central defender is here. If you want this player to come back and operate in the midfield space and the number 10 space, then he's got to have passing and vision. This guy's an 11 passing and a 12 vision. Now I just signed an attacking player to play in here, and his name is... No, not Miller. Miller is the defender. Training. Defender, center. Ball playing defender, defend. Train like that. I gotta get this into this. I gotta get this above competent. But hopefully that new player will come in and this guy can be my 5. So who was it here? It was John Scullion. So don't I have an incoming attacking midfield player that I was going to convert? Yeah, Mark McGee here. He joins July 1st on a free. So this guy I'm going to have play in this position. And you can see he's in an 11 vision and a 10. So Scullion's not bad as a comparable player. Like they're similar players. They have similar abilities. They're not necessarily the best strikers of the ball, but they can play other people in, which is how this tactic works. This guy's tiny. He's a tiny man. He's 25 years old and he's 5'4" as a striker. Wow. Yeah, I gotta find him in real life. Pick on him. No, in seriousness, seems like he would be a good choice there. I'm really tempted to talk to him. Let's see. Yeah, you can see his technique is a little low. Anticipation, but he's double digits except for composure too. So he can't hit shit anyways. Like when a player has composure this low, they do not score goals. They don't do it. But that's okay because he doesn't need to. it's probably worth scouting this player. It costs money to scout. And this is a small club. And like 2/3 of its budget is on the routine scout cost. Let's see. I certainly wouldn't mind him. I wonder what his info says here. He's media friendly. No youth caps. Long-term plans would prefer not to play for Kilburney Ladyside. New club. You want to check how injury prone he is? He broke his collarbone in 2012. And he had a hamstring last season. In October. But he's only out 4 weeks for that hammy. So he's interesting. Let's make sure he's on the short list. We need a number of players. I generally like to sign younger ones. Preferably under the age of 23. But you do what you gotta do. And as you can see, I have no bench. And I don't even have a full roster yet. So Miller and the other guy are gonna be in this position. The new guy in there. So I still need another striker. I need a wide player. A left and right wide player. Left and right wide player. And I need a midfielder. At minimum. So when I see a player like Paul Young here, he's a little bit old. A good attacking player, though. I'm surprised he's not showing up here as an AP. Why not? His first touch is... Okay, because he's just not very good. His mentals are alright. This player is not suited to this job. Here's a 20-year-old. Not dissimilar looking statistics. Let's scout this guy. He looks like he might do better at it. No flair. No creativity. Very little vision either. What's his long shots? Pretty good. This AP spot in this Reckonist tactic here. These guys, they shoot the ball. Even though it says shoot less often. Because they get forward and into the box. And they end up scoring quite a bit. And I think my third and fourth scorers last season were those two midfield players. The wingers were the top. Which actually makes them sound more like inside forwards, but this guy's a B2B. He's business to business. Alright, I mean, he's okay. Comes deep to get the ball, dives into tackles, likes ball played into his feet. I mean, he's not horrible for us. Let's make sure we scout him too. And then let's make sure he's on the short list because he's worth taking a closer look at. And this was the other one. No, that's not that one. This is the other one. So I hit scout on him, and I want to make sure he's in the short list too because I don't want to lose track of him. There's a lot of players. Clear that list. Cox commits future. So that was my leading scorer last season, Jordan Cox, and people were sniffing around him. They're trying to buy him. So I signed him for a 3-year deal, and I put his value up to 100K. And like I said, 100K is about a third of my season's payroll. So if I sold this player for 100K, if someone came for him for 100K, he's gone. I mean, you can't keep a player who's got that kind of relative value. So this is Michael Miller, yeah. I'm delighted to welcome Michael Miller. Now, I'm no Zafra Cakes. Yeah, lead club the glory, sure, whatever. I mean, from the central defense, yeah, win points, massive boost, His best position, well, it's not in the options. I know where I'm going to play him. It's as the central defender. This signals your first foray into the transfer market. Yes, because I only have 9 players. I definitely need to purchase more players. Yes, or get more players. Thanks. That's good reporting. How does the signing of Miller impact the club's short-term and long-term objectives? Yeah, he's here for now. These questions. What's the relationship between you and Miller? It's a computer simulation, so there is no actual relationship. Also, he holds no opinion of me. I have great respect for him. Sure. Alright, Let's see. I mean, he's here now, but he's going to play here on the right. Though I just signed another guy to also play this position, but obviously I need another guy too. So, let's advance the clock a couple days. My captain went out. Craig McDowell's the goalkeeper, and you need goalkeepers like that obvious position. Like, you can change your outfield players, but if you don't have the right man in the goal, or lady as it is, at that level, you're gonna get eaten alive. So I'm reluctant to make this guy captain because I'm not sure he's gonna finish the season. Let's make Craig Story captain because he's very good. And then we're gonna leave the goalkeeper as vice captain because who the fuck cares? Craig Story here is probably my best midfielder I have right now, so he'll almost certainly finish the season with the club. So he got injured at the end, but he's still pretty good. This is the role he's in, and you can see he's all right. He's a little slow, but otherwise he's pretty good for me, for this team, relative to top tier midfielders like Pogba or something. But Joe Redmond, that's a lone attempt on a goalkeeper. Is he in my shortlist? I'm sorry, he's a central defender. I don't know. Is he in my shortlist? I'm not sure why I'm seeing him. Burley, I was looking at, he won't sign for me. I tried to get him because his contract was expiring next month, and he wouldn't sign. He's pretty good. He went right back out on loan too. For me, this player would be great. So we can actually probably remove him from the list. And Redmond is the same because he extended his contract as well. What do you do? I prefer Scott players because I'm in Scotland. That makes sense. Queen of the South have made an approach to sign Caleb Wilson on transfer. Okay, so this kid is. I was looking at this kid just now. So he's left-footed. His dribbling's not great. Like, you want to compare him to your best midfield player? That's Craig Story. He's inferior, so they can have him. I don't mind. Next, I've played so much Football Manager that a lot of this just goes by rote. But since I'm streaming, you want to talk about something. Talking about something, let's talk about the Europa news. United Copenhagen, Inter Milan, Leverkusen. I'm a United fan. Massive United fan. I'd like to see them go through and win again. They won this in 2016, 2017. It's not a massive trophy, but finishing third this season, I feel like everybody who's a serious fan of the club understands that finishing third was a very positive outcome, especially where we were at the beginning of the season. But near the end of the season, the team really clicked after the restart, basically, and the team were all over the place. Really only like 2 bad games in that period, and they only lost 1 game in that period. The knockout game to Chelsea in the FA Cup, the FA semi. That was not a good game for what it's worth, but all the others were. So they did pretty well. In the second half of the season, they were the best team in England, statistically, and on the points earned table. So anyways, they really upturned after the restart, and a trophy sure would be nice to look at a couple years from now and be like, yeah, well, we made progress that season. I expect United to challenge for the title in 2020, 2021. And I think if you look at the the other teams, I don't think anyone thinks Liverpool can have another season like they did, because they don't have the depth and they're not spending the money now to get better. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, you're free to think what you like. I don't think that Liverpool were very good at all this season. Obviously, they did win, but they weren't like City the season before, when City were just unstoppable. Wrexham want to take Adam Wilson on trial. Oh, no, don't. That wiped out my contract requests with him. So, because he went on trial with Wrexham. That's not good for us. I don't want him to do that. I want him to come sign for me. So now I'm going to offer him a slightly improved contract. I want you for 3. I will take that wage. And I want you at 40k at least release clause. So this is basically the same contract I offered him before, with a slightly better clean sheet bonus and a slightly higher sign-on. Hopefully he'll sign. We'll see. I stopped scouting this player as instructed after he joined another club, so you can change that. And I mean, he would be an excellent signing. See what else is out there. We're gonna need a midfielder still. Okay. This guy's long shots are poor. Up here. I mean, he's alright. His finishing is ass. Here. Yeah. He's a little bit older than I like him. I like him young. I like him young. It's hard to get him young down here. All the promising young ones play at other clubs, which we should look at in a few minutes. But let's see, Scott Brown. Yeah, all right. So he's being scouted, but he's already scouted here. AP attack here. Compare him with Story, who's our best midfielder. I like to improve. I don't like buying role players when I'm going up the tree. Uh, 5'10", 174. He's a little bit taller. He looks fucking 40, doesn't he, in that picture? Julian Anderson. Kalen Wilson. Alright. So compare him with Kalen Wilson. Better. Alright, well. You need to be an appropriate prick. I'm sorry? What's he gonna cost? He's important, so alright, this isn't terrible. I have the money. You're not gonna no. I will do you 2 years like that. 19.5. That's it. I like easy negotiation. I sure do. We need a wide player. Like, let's look on this side. Competent. Yeah, see, I looked at this guy. Not good enough. No. Too old. Too old. Too old. Let's refine this a bit. Nationality Scottish. Value 0. And See, the 1st of July is when contracts run out. This dude, look, he looks 80 years old. Look at his picture. He looks older than me, and he's younger than me. He's my wife's age, and my wife looks a lot younger than that. He's got great finishing and composure. He's slow as all shit. This guy might not be a horrible second striker. Look at that penalty taking. Oh my god. What's he gonna want? Let's put him on the list. He should be on the list. Can he play out wide or anything? He can play. So this guy wouldn't be a horrible sub. I do. Lists. Add to short list indefinitely. I do tend to buy older people as subs, like outside my starting 11. What? Kevin Watt? Michael Patton. Omar Cater. Ali Love. His vision's alright. Let's look at that a little deeper. Support. His finishing's not terrible. I mean, it's Mitch Megginson. You scout him and add him to the short list. Willis, Linton. This is how I play Football Manager. I don't do obscured stats. I think that's like unplayable. I don't know why anybody does it that way. I always do the hard numbers, and I make them always visible. I think scouting is weird as is because it's hard to get good scouts, and they're so slow. And why would you want your player infos obscured? Some sort of RP? Alright, so what about this guy in the DLF position? Tries tricks. Likes to repeatedly beat man. You know, I watched yesterday the Stanley Matthews documentary. And because Stanley Matthews is a right winger, I don't know, World War II and post World War II. Though he played until he was fucking 50. Man, he was pretty good with the ball at his feet. The ball used to be really heavy back then too, so it used to get full of water and shit too. And he was pretty good. I mean, you look at a lot of old athletes, you know, and it doesn't really seem like the athletes from the past can compete with the modern day. Like, just look at like sprinters and look at the sprinting times from 1900 till today. And you can see that the people in 1900 who were the fastest men and women in the world, they don't even show up in the Olympics now. They don't get to go because they're too slow. And that's true for other sports as well, but it's more pronounced in sprinting. Anyways, I watched Stanley Matthews with the ball at his feet. I think he could probably play in the championship or maybe on a lower length Premiership side. I know people have that weird lens where they look at great players of the past and like, oh wow, Pele was amazing. But if you watch any clips of Pele, defenders would stand off him by like 10 yards and watch him do ball tricks. And that shit don't fly anymore. Like, you can't do it anymore. So like you can't look at Pele and be like, oh, his close contact ball skills are on par with current players. The pitches weren't good enough for you to tell. The ball was heavier and not even the same shape. And the way the tactics were employed were totally different. So like even players from 40 years ago are very difficult to compare in active play. And things like free kicks, maybe not, but like you watch an Henry free kick from 20 years ago, it's like, okay, that's a good free kick. But you watch Henry run down the baseline and slot the ball in, and it's like, okay, he looks slow, and the players around him look slow. And you compare him to somebody like Rashford or even like Harry Kane, who's not the quickest player, and they don't look like they're contemporaries. They don't look like they're on the same level. Athletics is like that, though. Yeah, anyways, this guy's alright. Let's scout him. We're gonna need another striker soon. And we're actually looking for wide players, though, so it's unfortunate for us to be finding players in other positions. So this guy doesn't really have the ability to play in that DLF position. He just doesn't really have it. He wouldn't be horrible out wide. His crossing and dribbling is okay. So that's a winger attack position. I mean, he's in double digits for everything except first touch for the wide spots. It doesn't look like it, but he has the stats. Like, you have to look here. Sometimes here. Play both sides of it, too. So this guy is worth having a look at with the scout. So, scout him. It doesn't look like we're going to lose our attacking wide players this window because they both signed new contracts. But we still need a sub for them. Yeah. I'd prefer to find players better than them, but that seems unlikely. They're my best players, so. Let's see. Are we getting anybody new? It's manually scrolling for players. My scouts aren't even good enough to get through these players. There's no other way. Plus, this is what I actually enjoy about this game. It's like looking at players and their stats and stuff. Here we go. Everything else is just hitting next anyways. And I don't have the tactical acumen to create, you know, my own positive tactics that actually work. Let's flip to the other side and see if we're finding players that are different at all. And let's go by young age. I like him young. No. I don't want to develop anybody because I'm a part-time team. And nobody gets better in a part-time team. You're not training full-time. You just get worse. Your PA never gets reached. Mostly the same players here. I don't want too many players. Like, so you sometimes see like acceptable players, and you're like, oh, just grab them just cause it's cheap enough. I got salary cap space, but I don't want players that aren't gonna play. It's a waste of money, and they're little bitches. And I don't want to have to try to rotate them in and get them a few matches and shit. It's just a waste of time. There's a bunch in the scouting queue. Double check the short list here. It's getting pretty deep. This guy's never going to sign for me. It's hard to get foreign players, and by that I mean Irish players, up into Scotland. If they already have a salary of some kind somewhere else. Chris Gallagher. I love this guy. He's never gonna come to me. I don't think I'd even be able to loan him. I'd happily play him at either one of those positions in the midfield. This guy's coming in already. No. See, look at a player like this, and superficially he looks good enough, but he's not. He's not. Yeah, we'll remove this guy too. This is the guy I just bid on again. Being scouted. 88, huh? It's the guy I'm thinking about making my backup striker. You look at a player like this and compare him to this guy, right? Austin and Austin and Trouton here. You're right. They're so different. Man, with that vision, Trouton really looks superior, even though he looks like he's 80. He looks like 80 years old. Poor Alan Trouton. Hashtag Alan Trouton looks like he's 80. Poor guy. So what is the what is the roster this morning for United? I'm sure that's out. He's fast. He's strong. He's tall. Or he can jump well, at least. Yeah, he's 6'1". He just doesn't have the ability that this guy does. That said, you'd never want to play this guy on the wing, even though he's theoretically capable of it. Look at him. Look how slow he is. He'd probably create from out there, though. Crossing's not great. I mean, this guy can fucking finish, though. At this level of finishing a 15 and a composure of 14 is like 20 plus goals in a season. And I'm gonna sign this guy if I can. We don't know how much he's gonna want. I'm not gonna promise you anything. I don't want to give you a non-playing role, dude. I just want you to be a striker for me for a season. Oh my god, no, that's not happening. Even if I could play that player that much, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. He's that's too much. It's too much. So Scullion, who's bidding on him? Montrose. I believe Montrose are in League One. They might be in the championship, the Scottish Championship, but I'm not sure. Montrose. The Red Mountain. Outlander. Outlander. Hey, Outlander. You fucking Outlander, if you know what I'm saying. So, I tried to loan this guy because he's fringe, and they're like first team commitments. I also tried to buy him, and he didn't want to talk. He's only on 12k, and I'd be willing to almost triple that. It's not enough for him. And let's remove him. Let's sort of play on the left. You can't cross for shit. Compare him with Alan Hughes? No, not Alan Hughes. Megginson and Scullion. Get better vision and better mental from Scullion. So, I mean, that just makes Scullion a better choice. He's also 2 years younger. He's just so tiny. He's so tiny at 5'4". It's like a little midget. No offense to people 5'4" or anything. I'm only 5'9", but that means I'm 5 inches taller than you, you short fucking bastards. Compare this guy with Scullion. You know, he's got these aerial abilities. Maybe it gives you a different way to play, but we don't play a different way. We just play that way. I mean, Nathan Austin's nothing to shake a stick at. He's also like 7 inches taller. It's just pretty amazing. Megginson's out. We're not considering him anymore. Scott Brown, we already offered a contract to. Montrose. So Austin seems like he'd be an appropriate sub. So what's he gonna want? I'm not making you any promises. Not really gonna be a star player either. No, 73K. So, I mean, he's out of our bracket. And I'm not making you any promises. Yeah, he's 5'4". He doesn't have the greatest jumping reach. So this guy's alright. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We'll raise this goal bonus to 200 euros, euro, dollar, pounds, and then we'll do 2 years for you like that. That's like a no-brainer when you look at how cheap that is. 26,000, 27,000 for 2 years. All right. Hopefully we get that defender. That's what I'm most concerned about now because he's on display or on loan. This guy's awful. This guy's fucking awful. And his wage demands are so high. Look at how awful he is. This is why scouts suck. United are going to sign Martinez. Arturo Martinez. From Inter. I don't know this player in real life. Man. I mean, United start so OP in this game. They have so much money, too. But you can develop. You can go in only. Willie McLaren. We don't have a chief scout because we haven't really had one good enough. Yeah. It's still showing us in the old league. Here, we should switch here, right? I think that's how it works. We'll be right back.